Hey, this is Seeking Truth with. Wait, hold on a second. That'll be edited out. This is Seeking Truth, finding Frank and Fraser, and a freaking reason to go on. And I'm Frank, and we're gonna add Fraser in a second. So let me. Oh wait, that was the wrong one. Wait, Fraser. Okay, so we're just gonna talk about more Yogi Berra-isms today. I need my glasses to do this. Sorry, you don't want to see my eyes anyway. So, I think we're going to talk about, what was he said, it's like deja vu all over again, and, or, no one goes there nowadays, it's too crowded. The two Yogi Berra-isms, they're number 4 and 5 on this list of the 50 greatest Yogi Berra quotes. And we'll see what we can come up with. Fraser also said he has a couple of ideas he wants to talk about because of Sean. So let's see what Fraser has to say. Oh, Fraser Mills is watching. Hi, Fraser. Filming you now. Hopefully Facebook is working. Oh, long silences because there's nothing to say. This is why I don't do podcasts by myself. There's nothing to say. I like bouncing off other people. So you can talk for an hour. Otherwise, you get 5 minutes worth. There he is. Hi, Fraser.
Hey, bud.
What's
Turn
going
this
on?
on. I was just trying to turn one more light on. Oh, boss! Maybe not. I don't know. For this one, maybe this one should. Good. How are you doing, Noah?
A little brokenhearted.
I just got that message as the last thing you said. I was like, whoa! Wait a second. That might be the first thing we should talk about. That might be the first thing to talk about.
Maybe,
Right.
but I don't know if she's gonna watch
Or if you
this,
don't.
and
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if she's gonna. I don't know if I want to talk about it.
Okay, no problem. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. It says you like there. Sorry, I just spilled something.
I don't know if she watches it on YouTube. She probably doesn't.
Oh,
Right about now, I really don't
we have
care
no
anymore.
viewers at all. Do you know what's
Yeah, I know.
funny? I don't know if you think it's funny. I think it's funny. So
What's funny?
we had a couple of these ones that went a little bit weird, and I titled them just as weird. So one was Seeking Truth, Finding. Oh, I don't even have my. It doesn't even matter. Finding
Are you
something in
using?
husbandry. So, husbandry was in the
Oh,
title.
yeah.
Another one, strippers, was in the title. I think it had to do with
Oh
Barra
no.
philosophy. And another
Oh
one,
yeah.
porn, was in the title. I said finding Barra porn
Oh.
because we were talking about, and it was actually fairly, not mild, but we were talking
Oh,
about
I
sort
heard
of the
that.
lustful
I remember the
things,
conversation. Yeah.
watching and observing, but we ended up getting to kind of lust and love. Anyway, so I put porn in the title. Boom, 35 views within like 2 hours, right? Because I had porn in the so
Oh, that's
this
it.
is what we went on. I think I uploaded it and then we started and then I went off. I was like, wait, that can't be right. 30 views? We don't have 30 views for anything. So then I immediately switched the title to brackets,
And then
no
30
nudity.
seconds.
I was like, because
Yeah,
I had
right. You know
porn,
what?
we
Yeah.
have no views. We've had like 5 views
No,
in
I
the
know.
last
Yeah.
week and no, plus 30. So no one's watching. No one's watching. But I understand.
Tired of this too. I feel like my whole life
Mhm,
being rejected over and over again, and and she's 19 years old, so they get that teenage hormone bullshit going on too. I should
mhm,
find someone a little more mature. But she said she's not relationship material because she's always found bad boyfriend, and she's telling me about these. And I'm like, why don't you pick better people to go out with
yeah,
instead of these
yeah.
these idiots? She's very pretty. They would just want to use her.
You can
So,
see it. You know it. You know it.
being a lot more older than her, maybe not necessarily more mature, but older. Um, I can see through a lot of
No,
the
more
shit that she's
mature.
going through.
More wiser. Oh, did you pause?
I lost your.
You're frozen.
I don't know. Why is it? I don't know. No, it's okay
You're
now.
sorry, you froze up for 2 seconds. I
You
just
did to
said
me
you're
too.
wiser, and then your whole video froze. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
just, are you frozen
I
again?
don't know about
No.
Wiser.
So yeah, you were
I'm okay.
saying, no, that
No, no,
you've
no,
had, but
no.
just that you don't feel, no, I think you are. I think you have a very good point there about, no, a level of maturity where it does seem like she's there, but then again, falling into bad habits. Whereas you can see it from the outside, like you could really envision a good positive path forward for both of you. But if someone wants to
Yeah,
take
it doesn't seem to matter
perhaps
anymore.
bad
You
decisions,
know,
and you can
it's
see them as bad
you can't.
decisions for her, not even just for you, but for herself. That's deja vu all over again. That's what
Yeah,
that is. Like you
I can
see
try.
this
Yeah,
again
I
and
can
again,
try to.
and to not be
You
sucked
know,
into that, you're good. You're good to step out now and not to be too far in. Like that's good.
I've been there too, when people
Yeah, go
give
ahead.
you advice. Like I'm gonna give her advice. I've given her advice, whether she takes it or not, and whether I've taken it or not.
Mhm.
Is different. I can give whether she follows it or not is a different story.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
I
all you can
talk to
do.
her. She
Like you
says
say,
one
try to
thing.
do it with a good
Yeah,
heart. It's hard with some people, especially if you like the rejection thing. Like I say, that's a tough
well,
one,
then
and I
again,
can only
she's
imagine.
19
And
years
you
old,
express that, but yeah.
but she's 19 years old. She's a nation and 2 time zones away. How is it gonna work? It won't. I gotta be realistic about it.
But as I said, we had this back and forth with you and I and Sean perhaps, and I remember thinking at the end, maybe I wrote it, necessity,
Yeah.
right?
You
A
see,
big guy needs
yeah.
big dreams. So it's like, to like you say, shoot. I don't know, you don't might see it like that, but shooting for the stars, but definitely don't shoot any lower. But just know that you deserve, you know, that beautiful, beautiful woman, and that if again that she
I
makes
don't
the
know if
choice
I
not
do or
to,
not.
it's like she's making a bad choice, and that but that there is something there. So not to stop dreaming.
No,
I hope that that's not the lesson out of it, but that you'll continue on to the next
yeah,
mountain to climb, as it were.
she's, she's a little emotional. She says one thing, and
Yeah.
she tells me something else, and then she says something different. I'm like, well, I can't
Oh,
go in these
welcome to
different
marriage,
directions anymore,
Frank.
right? Yeah,
Sorry, no,
I
no, no.
wouldn't
But I had to,
mind.
no. This is not marriage. But once you get there, once you have a certain level of trust, then you can start doing those sort of things,
That's
knowing
small
that
stuff.
your wife is really solid person. So if she does something that you don't get, it's like, I don't understand you, but I love you to the
But there's
deepness
always,
because I know you're a
but
good person.
right,
But you have to
but
get there
there's always
first with a woman for
communication.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of
You've
course. Yeah,
always,
there's
yeah, yeah,
always communication. You can always talk.
yeah, yeah. It definitely. But
Oh
no,
God.
well, it's a powerful note to start on. Holy cow, I don't know where to go. I had some notes. I turned
Yeah,
my whole page over when you said
and
that,
I'm
but
talking to two people. Yeah, and I'm talking to
yeah.
you and Sean, who basically have two failed relationships, multiple failed relationships on Sean's side. So,
Mm.
not that it's a bad thing, but
I have multiples too, failed ones.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
long-term
so
failed
maybe
relationships too. Yeah.
so you should, yeah, maybe I can learn from your guys' mistakes. I would like to, but I have to be in a relationship first. So today I joined Tinder as a
Yeah,
joke. I want
I
to see.
think it's so individual. Like if you talk to Sean, he'll say do this and don't do that, and I'll say do this and don't do
Yeah,
that, and it'll be
and
you'll say what? Wait,
yeah,
what am I supposed to? It's almost like I remember when I had a kid. It was like I read some books, right? How to kind of raise a kid books, how to have a baby kind of thing, and
Doctor
it was like
Doctor
go
Spock.
this way, that way, this, and eventually you just have to know that innate in you is somewhere inside how to raise a kid. Everyone is that, and that's what they're
Yeah,
writing in the book, and that's why all the messages are different. So in a sense, you could waste your time reading a book about how to fall in love too. It's going to be different for you than anyone. I can't even tell you how to do it because I'm a
yeah,
tall,
right,
skinny
right.
Albertan. And it doesn't work for me like it works for you, and I
And
know
I'm a
that. I
short,
can
fat
definitely
guinea. Yeah.
admit that. A short, fat guinea? Did you say?
Yes.
That's why I love you, Frank.
Why
That's great.
was that so
Oh,
damn
okay.
funny?
I don't know. I don't know. It was just so like, did did I hear that wrong, or is that my old
You think you
Albertan like
heard it
right
right?
here hearing that? It's like, did I hear? Did wait? No, because my filter sometimes does that. I remember misunderstanding someone. Oh, what did I say?
Yeah.
It was about that bad, and I thought, oh, this is a very kind of open thing, and they're like, that's not what I said at all. I was like, but
It's like
oh,
that.
what was that about?
It's like
Oh,
the
I can't
kind of
remember.
word that we. It's like the kind of word that like we use for each other that outsiders can't. Like
This
when
is it.
black people call each other, the N word. We call
This
each
is
other
it.
wop,
Yeah.
greaseball, guinea, meatball. You know. Z. Oh,
Because you
in
know
high
where
school
that
it's even
came from.
better.
Italians
Yeah,
did
right.
not have it easy when they first came.
No, we didn't.
Not at all, I don't think.
In
No.
high school, we loved it. The black people.
So you got,
Another one. Yeah,
wait,
it's an epithet.
wow.
It's a
But
racial
holy
epithet, but I
cow, there was a
loved it.
lot of them there. I knew Guinea. No, what was it? Guinea?
Guinea, greaseball, meatball, wop, ziti now. Uh,
It's almost good to
there's a
talk about
lot,
these
yeah.
things because I don't know them. It's just like there's some
Really?
for different groups all over the place, and I don't even know them. Like these ones, like ZD,
Oh, this is
I
all New
didn't know
York.
that one.
Ziti, yeah. Well, that was
It's
a
a
new
New
one for
York,
me too
it's
when
a
I was a
local thing
teenager.
too, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
greaseball is, I think greaseball is almost universal, right?
Is it? I didn't
You
think
ever
about
heard the term
Italians when I
greaseball?
thought about that. We had, but we
Okay, well,
use
they
terms
call it,
like
yeah.
that, like greaseball, but we have no Italians around. So we would use
Oh,
terms, a
really?
lot of these terms, without ever having exposure to people like this. I didn't even know. Like we use greaseball for certainly. It would be
So,
someone
like,
who's really kind
I,
of, really
so
almost
Fraser,
literally a greaseball, right? Or just kind of a
so
doesn't shower often and
quite,
stuff. But that's
so
like
quite
one of
literally,
us that doesn't do that, right? I didn't know that that
quite
had a
literally,
thing to Italians.
uh, quite literally, I just
Sorry, go
broke
ahead.
your Italian cherry, didn't I? I broke your
You
Italian
did. There's a
cherry.
lot
I'm
of
the
these.
first
Did you see
Italian
that
ever.
calzone?
I did,
I
yeah.
had no idea that a calzone could be like that.
That looked like it was a
Oh,
third
that
of a
was a great
meter.
calzone, man.
That looked like about
I
what? That
couldn't
looked like.
believe it, and I waited. I was
That,
like, "This thing is like."
hold
It
on a
wasn't
second.
like it was
Okay. I want to do the
stack.
conversion here. It's like, okay, 1 foot is okay. That was okay.
I
That's
tried
about,
to put
what's
it
that about?
beside a
Like,
fork or something. You saw the
yeah,
fork right
okay,
beside it, right? It
yeah,
was to
okay. Like, look
scale,
like about, was it 1 meter long? I can't even. I don't have the conversion
not
on
a
this thing.
meter. No, 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 no. It overpassed
Not
the
a
plate.
meter.
We're
No,
talking
a third
about
of a meter. Yeah, like
same.
12
It
inches.
was almost like a. It would, yeah,
What?
it would be like a 12-inch piece pizza, and there was some pocket of air in there, of course, and just enough
Of course.
toppings, not like full, like you would just like, oh,
What?
like the
But
kind of pizza
that's not
pocket just
Italian
gooing
calzone
out,
then.
like you can't even eat it. I could cut it. It was good crust, not too much crust, well cooked.
I got to get your real calzone.
Whoa, it was great. I finished it right the way through. Oof. It's an Italian
What
place,
kind
or
of
they claim to
calzone
be
does that
Italian.
have?
They have this.
Clean. What kind of toppings could a
They do
calzone
like.
have? Because calzones normally don't have toppings. And I saw the little thing of gravy. That's
Well,
funny.
they had a
You should have sauce with it.
We had a little bit of tomato sauce beside, but you had like some cheese, like some ricotta, and then a little bit of some sausage, a little bit of like some mixings in there in the middle. Yeah, not like
That's not
full
a real
toppings like
calzone.
a full pizza. They called it a
That's not
super.
a real
They had
calzone.
another one right beside. You
That's
look
more
it up.
like
They're well, I mean, they're
a
trying to
stromboli
feed
roll
like
than a
they're
calzone.
trying to feed Canadians. They can't do a proper thing. It's like Chinese
Yeah, you
food. Have
gotta
you
do.
ever
You
eaten
gotta
real
come from
Chinese
Buffalo.
food? I haven't, or
No,
rarely.
never.
Yeah.
And the American Chinese and the Chinese food that we eat is westernized. It's not really
Okay.
Oriental. Because they don't use sauces and stuff like that. But a real
Hmm.
calzone is about half that size. It's not big, but
Yeah.
it's stuffed with It's just mozzarella, ricotta, maybe ham, and that's it. It's a very simple thing. It's just dough and cheese.
Well,
It's
there it
not
was.
complicated.
Yeah, there was definitely matzah in there too, and there was just like a little
Yeah,
bit of this kind of sausage thing. I even like the
no,
menu. It was
that's what
called
we have in
Anthony's,
that.
but they do like a wood burn stove, so they try and do it proper. They had a
That's
big thing
fine.
of they had these two big things of what is it called? Oh, Campari? No, what is that thing called?
Campari.
You know that thing, that aperitif kind of thing that you drink beforehand?
The aperitif.
Uh,
Uh,
it's like a kind of a liqueur kind of thing, maybe like a
I have
hard
a well.
wine or
We only
something.
know.
It's an
Oh, I don't know
Italian
about
thing.
that. The
It's
only one I
everywhere.
know
You know
is
what the thing is? No, it's
the
like an
only one I know is
aperitif.
limoncello. The only one I know is limoncello. That's the best one I've ever had.
I wish I had another device here to Google it. But no, anyways. No, but they had these things. I thought it was
Okay,
fairly,
I'm gonna look
but
it
no,
up
no, no.
now.
And they would make you a little espresso if you wanted to. But no, no, no. Definitely they're going to put toppings on it to try and feed an American or a
Well,
Canadian
you're
audience, as it
Canadians,
were.
yeah. Oh, it is Campari. Yeah, I know. Campari, Aperol, and Vermouth. Three cornerstones
Apero.
of Italian cocktails. But one drink specialist wants to add Rosolio, a 19th century liquor from Turin, to
That's
the
it.
list. I've never
And
had
so I came
Campari
in,
before.
and you see these, I don't know if you what you call them, but we called them Texas Mickeys. I think it was
What
60
the hell?
ounces, a 60-ounce bottle. Like it was like two
Wow,
feet
20%
tall
alcohol. Oh shit.
of this Apero, this Campari, And so we come in, what are you guys looking for? I'm like, oh, I was looking for a good place to buy Campari as a joke, right? He's like, I pointed to them. He's like, no, those are empty, actually. It looks like they've kind of put an illusion, like it's a full bottle, like a full Texas Mickey, but it's actually an empty thing. Of course, I suppose it would be really
I've
expensive if
never
they would
heard of
want to
that.
put that on it. But it was
Yeah,
just
listen to this. I
a
just
prop. It was a prop to kind of say Italian without actually.
we're
Well,
talking
they would have a
about
little bottle of it in the back, but
we're talking about food too. This is great. I'm looking at Campari. The alcohol percentage is 28% alcohol, 56%, 56 proof.
really,
Sorry, that's strong. That's really
wow, it
strong.
really is.
That's strong
I didn't
wine,
like
man.
it. I
I
tried it one time, some of those things,
really.
and I was like, oh, that's not for me. It is weird tasting a little bit for me.
It's probably not. It's probably an acquired taste.
28% is hard though.
28% alcohol. It's a lot. I
That's
don't
pretty
like
hard.
to drink a lot of wine. I'm not much of a drinker, but when I do, we have something here called a peachy. It's good wine. Any kind of wine you can do it with, but you don't use it with the sweet wine, but more towards the dry side. My brother mixes it with Diet Coke or regular Coke. I mix it with iced tea,
Mhm.
half and half. It's really good. It takes some of the bitterness of the wine away because I don't like the way alcohol tastes. You get drunk fast on it. And Campari, I would
Yes,
like
I
trying with
agree.
Campari now. I probably get drunk in a couple of glasses.
I have to put like I'm drinking about
Yeah,
2%, 2.5%, right? Because I mix it 50-50 with sparkling water, and usually
yeah,
it's flavored sparkling water, so that it would cut like it definitely has to cut the alcohol because that is nauseous. Like if
that's
I
strong.
smell kind of anything kind of 10% above, even no, even like 8%. I remember some
Really?
beers. It's like, oh, it kind of because I just not like and I can't handle it too much. I do like it. I like the effect. It reminds me as you're saying that, especially I think as a Catholic. It was like my favorite time at church is like you get served just a little bit of
You go sip
wine
of wine?
as like a kid, and it was like it's almost my turn to coming down the line. I'm like, it's just about me.
Oh
Oh,
God!
I was that bad. I know.
Wow,
I
yeah,
was
that's
so looking
horrible.
forward to the little shot of wine.
My
I was
aunt
terrible. I
got
was come on. I was a kid. Like,
what was that? Blue Bonnet. I think my aunt got
sorry,
a
Sean
beer. I can't remember the
wanted
name
us
of
to
it.
get more to the gospel. That was one of my points
Yeah,
actually.
I
Sean
know.
wanted to get maybe less secular, a little bit more to the gospel. So
Not
that's
worried
where
about that right now. I
I'm
don't think.
coming.
Well, I want to get to the gospel when we do the Serving God podcast. If he ever gets to that again, but for just me
Yeah,
and you, we'll talk
I
about
like. Yeah,
secular stuff. I don't mind.
and he
I don't
gave
mind.
us the space to do that just on the
Yeah,
network,
yeah,
not the
yeah. I'm fine with
or there's
that. Yeah,
no. Sorry, now I'm getting them mixed up. More secular area that
I
we could.
lost it.
Hmm?
He's got so many
Pardon?
podcasts. I don't know where to turn. He's got so many podcasts. I don't
Oh
know where to
God.
turn.
Who? Anyways, we're doing our
Ah,
thing on the
and I
side.
was
He'll tell me where
answering.
to
Yeah,
post things if he wants
yeah,
something.
yeah. We'll do our own
Right.
thing.
Okay.
I
But we
don't
did get
mind.
an
But
ask.
my
There was an ask today to
my
do a 30-minute thing for Jerome. I'll do that, and that
30
might go over to
seconds.
the other
30
side.
seconds. Not
Oh,
30
30
minutes. 30
seconds.
seconds.
Whoops, I would
He
have
just
done a
wanted
30
to
minute.
thank Jerome for having his own. Yeah, right. You could have talked for 30 minutes. He just wanted to thank. He just wanted us to thank Jerome for having his own show. I don't know if I could do. I don't even know what the hell Jerome's show is about, so I don't know if I could. I have no knowledge of it, so I don't think it's fair for me to do something like that. But my aunt got a
It
beer last
almost sounds.
Sunday. It was blue. My
Go,
aunt got a
go, go,
beer.
go.
It was very strong. It was 5.6% alcohol. This beer, blue something. It was fantastic. It wasn't that bitter or hoppy. Not a lot of hops in it. And I got buzzed on one beer. I
Hmm.
guess I'm a lightweight when it comes to drinking, so I had two. But it was strong. It
Right,
was
right. And
strong
then
beer.
yeah, three, and you might get that headache afterwards. You know what your limit. Yeah, but
Oh
it's
my! When I was
I'm glad you brought up that point. You said you're drinking a strong beer, and then you said
yeah,
5.6%. You
yes.
understand in Canada we have a different scale of strong beer, right? Like our beer starts at
What
5%,
is?
right?
Yeah, that's
Minimum.
about right. Yeah,
Some we get Bud Light over
about
the
10, yeah,
border,
10
and that
proof.
comes down to like, but
Yeah,
like
Bud Light is like
especially in
yeah.
Quebec, oh my gosh, they make hard beer. Like Quebec, it gets down to like their kind of traditional beers, as it were, their local beers. It's like 6 or 7%. as an on average, and they only recently restricted it that you had to have, I think it's under 10%, because a kid died
Wow.
on one of these on after drinking these ones. What it was really was one of these ones that mixed with caffeine, but it's at like
Oh
9%
no.
mixed as a caffeinated beverage, I'm telling you. And she drank like two or something like this. So it's like drinking four
Wow.
coffees and like I don't know, 12
Yeah.
American beers.
American beer. Yeah. Okay.
American beers. No, that's not funny, but no, seriously. And so they
No,
actually
ours. Yeah.
restricted it.
No,
Well,
ours started.
you can actually
Ours
make
started
it,
5% too.
but you can only sell it. We can. Do you buy liquor at the corner stores, right?
We can. Yeah.
Like full
We
liquor,
have.
hard liquor, and
We have.
everything?
We have dedicated liquor stores also, but we can buy just like if you're gonna go to the corner store, you're gonna get basic beer, like a 6 pack or something.
Yeah. That's where they restricted it. Like all corner stores can sell alcohol, and now they just are starting to talk about a law to restrict it to 10 or 9%. Because before it was a certain type of alcohol, like if it was malt liquor, you could still sell it. I think you could sell it up to about 20% at the corner store. And
That's
then
smart.
above that, it had to go through the government liquor store, and only the government can sell things like over 20%. But now they reduced it down. So
Is
I,
Superior. Yeah, I know. Now I read a story
no,
in
it's just
Reader's
liquor though.
Digest.
It's having these vices though. We talked about the
Yeah, yeah,
vices
yeah,
though. They're
yeah,
almost separate, right?
yeah.
It's almost
We
like the
have
porn thing. Certain things, what the government's kind of
yeah,
they might have to do to protect us from ourselves almost. I don't know where we
we
draw
actually
that
have a
line. But
New
alcohol,
York actually has a
cigarettes, I
vice
wonder
tax.
where
Yeah, Fraser. We
they
actually have a
do.
vice
Oh,
tax
right. On
on
food,
alcohol and
no?
cigarettes
On
here.
like
No, it's
drinks.
alcohol and cigarettes only. But I was reading in
Didn't you
Reader's
have one on
Digest.
sugar drinks one time?
The, he wanted to. He proposed it. Was it Bloomberg? He wanted to propose
Oh,
it.
okay,
Never
okay.
passed.
That was
It
Bloomberg.
passed,
It didn't
but
go. Okay, okay,
it
okay.
was revoked. It was revoked. But getting off of alcohol, you're talking about caffeine now. I was reading in Reader's Digest about a kid
Hmm.
who was studying for some kind of exam or something, and he was drinking Red Bulls. He had, I'm not sure the exact amount. It
Hmm.
was like 5 or better Red Bulls. Plus, he was taking that. They have freeze dried coffee. I'm sure you have that too in Canada. Like Folgers freeze dried, just pour it in and
Yeah, yeah,
coffee.
like
You have,
instant.
okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. The instant coffee. They was taking
Oh, yeah, yeah.
spoonfuls of that with the Red Bull, and
Oh, the
he went to
stack.
tachycardia. Right. He went to tachycardia. It was a chemical increase in his heart rate. He had a 300 beat per minute heart rate at rest. They could not get his heartbeat down, and he passed away. It's so
Yeah,
dangerous
we
to
had
mix
one.
caffeine with
Yeah,
alcohol. Because when you mix caffeine with alcohol, you're not sure how stressed your body is, how much um,
yeah.
stimulant you're taking in. So the alcohol suppresses that part of your brain while the stimulant is making your heart rate and blood pressure go up. Very dangerous combination.
For sure. And with alcohol, you'd stop feeling it, I imagine. And so
Exactly.
you're not
So they
feeling
have
that you're
to,
getting
yeah,
to that point. But there
exactly.
was another kid, again, I think he was under 18, died of that same thing, not with alcohol, but going to sports after drinking, again, a quantity of these sports things, like enough caffeine
Yeah,
to kind of down a rhino, and the heart goes.
a
A
rhino.
young
Oh, yeah,
guy,
right.
right? I
Yeah, I
think
know.
this was a guy in
You're
this case.
susceptible to that.
Or it
Yeah.
was a girl that died in the alcohol mixer one. But it's just that. Whereas I don't know if you know that, but caffeine is one of those legal drugs in sports that
Yes.
has been proven to help it performance. That if you
Yes.
do this sort of the down, you don't take caffeine, and take it right before, like you're not drinking coffee ever, you only take it before the performance.
Right before. Yeah.
That that actually improves performance like significantly, and it's totally legal. But again, that message
Yeah.
obviously gets down to these amateur athletes, and like, oh, maybe
Right, and
one
they
more will
overdo
get
it.
me that
Right.
extra goal, and then you take five, and you're doing it like
Right.
twice, 3 times a week or something, and it's not effective anymore scientifically at all when you do that, and it's got these like hyper dangerous. You're getting hyper
What was that?
toxic levels of caffeine that are killing your heart for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
No, and it's kind of obvious, and I think it has to do with that. I don't know how you control that, but at least awareness. Like right now, people are dying, and so that really gets people's attention for sure. Yeah, caffeine's a big one. Alcohol,
Yeah,
caffeine.
and it's not the caffeine. You can have like a cup of coffee and it won't really hurt you too much. It's when you put these ingredients in like guanine. If you ever look at Red Bull, the ingredients like guanine or something, these are caffeine boosters. So whatever caffeine is, it's
Oof.
the effect is like is it's boosted like at a percentage, something like I don't know, double, triple, whatever it is. So it's not like that little bit of caffeine is bad for you. It's that these additives are that makes it so much more dangerous. In fact, there was a triple A pitcher or a
Yeah.
double A pitcher in America here that was using
Yeah.
a cold drug. I think it was Sudafed. The active ingredient is Sudafed, ephedrine. Uh, it's supposed to improve performance too. He took too much of it. I think he like tripled the dose or something. Because like you said, these people who think that a little bit is good, more is better, and that's not always the case. So he took 3 or 4 times the dose, and his body temperature rose to 105 degrees. And basically, he cooked to death. He died because your body can't tolerate that kind of fever. And it's just from the chemical things. Like you're mixing caffeine, ephedrine now. Maybe some. Mickey Mantle was a drinker. So was Babe Ruth. So they went. So but they played baseball drunk. But
Those
these
ones,
other
maybe
people.
alcohol isn't so bad though.
Yeah,
But
right.
at least the other guy, I'm just, to make it lighter, he might have died, but not with the sniffles.
Yeah. Oh, that's horrible. Oh my
He should have
God.
been drinking. He would have hit him out of the
Yeah,
park,
right.
Bus. That's so
Yeah,
bad.
Babe Ruth
That
hit
is
home
so
runs.
bad.
Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle
Whoops.
hit home runs drunk. Yeah, so these
I'm
people,
glad you went back to the history because now we go through some of those like intoxicants or just different
yeah,
things, different
yeah.
things
And
that help or and hinder
Yogi
progress
Berra played with Mickey
over
Mantle.
the years,
Yeah,
like it's happening over and over and over
yeah.
again,
People don't learn.
like deja vu all over
Deja vu
again.
all
Oh, I
over
brought it
again.
around.
He brought it around. That was perfect. So they actually uh Yogi Berra played with Mickey Mantle. I don't know if on
Is
the
that
same team,
right?
but they did. Yeah, yeah. They were teammates. Not teammates. Maybe they
They
were
were playing
opponents
at the
at
same.
some point. But yeah,
I guess it's the same time, of course. Yeah.
yeah,
Because they're, yeah, that's nice. You see how we brought it around, like totally,
yeah.
not
Right.
just down to
Everything.
the
Yeah.
expression, but all the way back around to Yogi Berra. Wow, that's good. That's good.
Is
That
that
was well
great?
done.
Thank you.
Wait, I forgot to write down what was the second quote. No, what was the
Let
second
me
one you
see.
wanted to do? No something? No,
What was it?
because the deja vu one, I think that just applies to everything. I could just say that over
Yeah,
and
yeah.
over and over again,
Oh, no one.
because it's
All
true.
right, here
Like
we
you
go.
see things
Nobody.
happen.
No one goes there nowadays. It's too crowded. Oh, these are
Okay.
great. These are gold. I don't think that's too deep, but
No one, no, you know what? No one goes there nowadays because it's too crowded. Is exactly what we're
because it's too
talking about,
crowded.
kind of in terms of music or, and I won't put this in the title, but porn, and because you know how
Yeah.
everyone is just slamming it. There's just an overexposure, and no one's paying for it. Music, let's just go music, and so it's just
Okay.
like no one's going there
Yeah.
anymore
Keep it clean. Yeah.
because it's too
Keep it clean.
crowded.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, whoops,
Yeah.
what happened to the music industry? Within a few years, all it'll be was these rich people doing concerts
Ooh,
and kind of poor people scratching it out on YouTube almost, right? And it's just
I
like
got
no
it
one goes
perfect.
anywhere there anymore because it was too crowded at the whatever it was before. I like it. Okay, that's good. No?
I
Or
got
did
a
I kind
perfect
of, maybe
example of
I'm
that.
stretching it.
No,
Go
you
ahead.
did perfect. There's a perfect example. Have you ever heard of a website called LimeWire? We're going back quite a few years now. LimeWire. Have you heard of it?
LimeWire. Doesn't ring a bell.
LimeWire.
Lime.
Okay. It was a file sharing website where people used to download music, mostly music, maybe video game stuff like that. When it first came
Maybe.
out, it was okay. You could
What was the
download it,
first one?
put
No,
on different
Napster. No, okay, it was in line with
Napster,
Napster,
something
that
like
kind of
that.
thing.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Something
So people
LimeWire.
used to go on.
LimeWire.
Yeah, people used to download it. You share music files and everything. You didn't. Not a lot of people wanted. Then it started getting more and more popular. You just download. Everybody was getting viruses, so like it just stopped being popular. So that's a
It's
perfect
weird, and it's
example.
true, and it
Nobody goes there
happens.
anymore because it's too
I wonder
crowded.
if
Yeah.
honestly, like, there's sorry, we should speak in hushed tones, but Facebook is having problems right now.
I know.
Facebook might be actually seeing their limit. What if they get smacked with like some huge big fines from 13 different countries at once?
Oh, you've heard about that? They were
Boom.
selling people's
Right?
profiles to voters. Yeah, in America, they were selling people's
Oh,
profiles.
I don't know about that. I just know their stock price
you didn't
dropped
know
by
about
about
that?
10%, which was
That was the reason.
$60 billion in this last
That was the
week
reason why.
because of the thing that came out with the.
That was the
Because
reason
people
why.
are like, they're stealing our.
It was the last Obama election before Trump.
No, the
And
Trump
it was
one,
mostly
no?
during this Trump election.
No,
It was
they're
mostly
talking about the
during this
Trump
election.
one.
Yeah, right. Where they were selling
Yeah.
people's information online,
Yeah.
especially Republicans, conservatives. That's that side, to sway the vote to Hillary. And they just admitted it. They
Go
just
all over the
publicly
place.
admitted
Wait,
that.
wait, wait.
All over
Today
the
in the
place.
news
Yeah.
in Canada,
Yeah.
the same company that they're talking about in the news, this whatever thing in Britain,
I forgot the company
the
was. Yeah.
Liberal Party in Canada had a meeting with them
Oh God.
about what they could do for them. And they ended up turning them down, but they had that meeting. So it's not just one party. It's not just one country.
I know.
It's like they're doing it everywhere,
This is
man.
widespread, yeah.
And it's just like they're exploiting it for whatever, who's the biggest bidder. And knowing that it'll have a little bit of a swing. Like even in the States, it's not going to be like 10 points difference. It's going to be like half a point difference in maybe some areas. And maybe it'll backfire. It's not 100% going to happen. But if they can make just 200 people count differently in a state that just or in a county that just happens to be within 200, maybe that would make a difference, you know. But definitely they were trying to do it, and people are paying big money.
Yeah, right.
Like you say, probably I don't know which. Like the state story, I don't know so much about it. I'm only getting this now. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the Democrats in the United States here were crying that Trump was colluding with Russia in order to swing the vote and compromise the election. But as it turns out, it was the Democrats that were doing it, and all of this is coming out as this investigation is going on. So whatever they accuse Trump of doing is actually a reflection on the Democrats. Trump had nothing to do with it.
Everyone's doing it.
Right.
I would totally believe Trump did it too. Everyone did it.
I don't think so.
If Trump didn't do it, he would be like the total outlier in the whole world. Everyone's doing it. If you're not exploiting big data and you're not using Facebook's like, they're like, here's something you can buy, and they don't go for it, it would just be bad business. So everyone's doing it, no doubt in my mind. At what level and in what degree of kind of like evilness we can discuss?
Oh yeah,
everyone did it.
But if Trump used
in my
data,
mind, there is
he used
no
legal
doubt.
data. He used legal data. I mean, the Democrats were using illegal.
It's all
data
legal.
and
there was nothing illegal about anything.
The Democrats were illegally data mining. No, they were illegally data mining. That was the whole thing with Facebook.
But Facebook, no. It might not be illegal. It might be immoral, but we all sign a contract that they can use our data for whatever they want.
No, we never signed the contract.
And so
when you sign a contract with Facebook,
I checked it right at the beginning.
When you sign the contract, it doesn't say anywhere that your data is available for someone to take and use.
Yeah, it totally does. Read it again. It's long and it totally does. Yeah, it totally does.
I don't think they can do that.
Then third parties can use it too. There's a third party.
I think there's a clause in Facebook that says you can't. That Facebook keeps your data protected. It doesn't use it for other things. But you know, again, everybody lies.
Read it again, boss. We'll go through it. That's a whole episode. No, I'm telling you, it's not that. We have given away a lot of rights.
I know
We're in their playground, and they made the rules. And one of their rules was that they can sell our information to other people. I'm telling you, that's perfectly within the rule box. Like, look it up right now. Just see it. Just even research like a summary of, because the whole thing is like, that's not long. So yeah. But just a summary of, I'm telling you, that's worth an episode because it's actually scary. And we signed it by putting a little tiny green check mark.
Here we go.
Yep.
This is actually on Facebook. Does Facebook sell my information? No, we don't sell any of your information to anyone, and we never will. You have control over how your information is shared. To learn more about the controls you have, visit Facebook Privacy Basics. So I'm going to click on that right now.
Selling information, wait. That phrase is very, 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 very gray. Don't be fooled, because what they sell is access to what they have. So they can say, we can sell your products to whatever type of people you say. So
That's
it could
more
be
like
XXX type of people
yeah.
in
Okay,
XXX
Facebook does
region.
that. Do that.
So
No,
it's
I
not personal
understand.
data, but it's aggregate data. That's fine, but it is very, very personal data. And what it does
Yeah,
is
I understand what you're
give
talking about. I'll
access
tell
to
you.
a type of person that you can, through statistical models, predict very, very, very accurately what kind of message would trigger them. Like those kind of triggers that just make us mad right away or make us happy right away. Those kind of things
So
can be hit
yeah,
to
yeah.
such a precise point. It's
I got two things
crazy
on
what
that now.
statisticians can do with that. So while you say we won't sell personal data, they will sell aggregate personal data, which includes personal data. So absolutely, they're selling personal
Um.
data. They're not selling
Okay.
how
Then.
old Frank Mardzig is, but they are selling how old Italians on this block in New
That's a
York
demographic. That's a little
between
different.
40 and or 40 and 46 or 43 and 46, they can sell to someone only advertising towards 43 to 46 year
That's
olds on
different.
a
I'll
certain
get, let me
block
get
in New
into that.
York.
Let me
So
get
if
into
you talk
that.
about selling personal information, that's very much in my mind selling personal information.
Well, let me get into
Even if
that.
they didn't
Fraser,
say
stop.
Frank
Stop. Fraser,
Martzig is
please.
45 years old. Do you see what I'm
Fraser,
saying though?
please. Yes,
We've signed away that.
I have to just explain a lot of that. So there's three things now.
Go ahead,
The
please.
first one I'll go in
Go
the
ahead. Yeah.
simplest one, which is demographics. Demographics,
Yeah.
they do take that data of who's online, who does what on Facebook, and they do have advertisements
Yeah.
that designed to those demographics. It's not specific to
Mhm.
any one person. What does become
Yeah.
specific to me, you, and Sean, anybody else on Facebook, is your browsing habits. So they'll check your browsing habits. They'll go what other websites you visit, and they'll make suggestions on Facebook what you just browsed. Like for instance, a couple days
Yeah.
ago, I ordered some T-shirts from online from DXL. So now I'm seeing advertisements on Facebook about clothes and DXL. They do take that information and use it for your convenience.
Yes.
The third thing
No,
is
that's perfect because
yeah,
that's
right,
exactly where we have to go, I think. I think we
yeah,
could do an
okay,
experiment exactly what you're saying because I heard about a girl that did that. She said right before she quit Facebook, she did this thing where she only talked about golf, only all day long, and then
yeah,
watched over the whole kind of social media network, as it were,
yeah,
what happened, what was popping up on Google. So what you do is you
right.
go to
Google
if you
owns
I don't know if you
Facebook
have
now.
Twitter, but what you do
I
is
got no.
go to Facebook and only ever talk about golf, and then go to LinkedIn or whatever another thing is, and only ever talk about snorkeling, and then watch what happens. And
Right, yeah.
it's exactly what you're talking about, but I think we could prove something by doing this, like
Oh,
in a
there's nothing
very
to prove.
honest,
I know
like
what
I'm not even
happened.
joking.
No, I know
Even
it.
if we
I know what it's
make up
all
another
about.
Frank Martzig or
Yeah.
another Fraser's Blim or whatever, and do that. Wouldn't that be fun to do? Or kind of it would
Yeah,
prove something.
it's
I
already
don't know if
proven
I'm
to
right
me
or
because
whatever, right?
it's already proven to me because I've seen it already.
But
I mean,
just to
my
see,
browsing habits are reflected in
I've seen it, but we could almost
advertisements
see the
towards
links
me.
because if
But
we,
it's not like you can
but
see
if
my
you,
advertisements,
you
John.
don't
I
know.
can see them. Yeah, it's suggested
I
posts.
know, I know, I know. And I
Yeah.
see the one that came up with me when I was having battery problems with my phone and I had a
Yeah.
Google advertisement to say, here's some blah, blah, blah to extend the life of your battery. Hmm?
Right. You know why? Because
I was
Google owns
like,
Facebook now.
are you
Go-
serious? They're looking in my battery? But what I'm talking about is compartmentalizing it. So have one account
Yeah,
that
yeah.
only does this on this platform and see what happens on some of the other platforms. Or one
I,
account that only does this here and this here and this here and see if they actually cross pollinate. In that if you're, I don't know which ones are the same company anymore, but say if you're on Twitter and Facebook, snorkeling on Twitter and cat cuddling or whatever the
yeah,
snot,
yeah.
what did I say before?
What do you say?
Golf
Snorkeling, golf? Yeah.
on Facebook and see if you start seeing golf ads on Twitter and snorkeling ads on Facebook. This kind of thing to really see. It would be a scientific experiment. I'm almost excited, but also I have no
Scared?
time to do that. That's a stupid
You
thing
know,
to do.
I'm not
That's a
saying we're
stupid waste
scary.
of
No.
time. We already know what the answer is. Like you say, we actually
No,
already
we
know what
do
the
know.
answer
Yeah, I
is.
do know.
They're,
And it's like
I think we
Google
know
doesn't
they're
own
selling
Facebook.
our stuff.
Google doesn't own
So
Facebook, but
in
they're
aggregate,
a partner company. So, I mean, like if you Google something, Facebook's going to know about it. YouTube's gonna find out because Google owns YouTube also.
No, I don't even think they're
And
doing that. No, I don't even think I think they're doing exactly what I said. I think that Google is asking to Facebook, can you advertise to all the
the
Italians
specific
on
demographic,
X
yeah.
block in New York who Facebooked such and such a thing. So if they aggregate it down and there's only one, they're not selling your personal information. They're only selling the information of Italians between
Yeah.
45 and a half and 55 and a half, or
Well, that's a
whatever,
very
45
specific
and a half and
demographic. I think
44
they
and a
go a little
half.
more broader.
I'm telling you, that's legal. That's what we
No,
signed
that
up
is
for.
legal.
I'm telling you.
No, I know that's legal.
Totally.
No, that is.
That's what I'm saying.
But with my
So
personal
they don't
information,
have
my
to,
age,
they don't have no
what I'm talking about,
confidentiality on cross tabulations. It could be
Fraser,
1 unit per cell.
what they
That's a
can't sell,
table.
Fraser,
That's
let me-
not,
I'm going to break it down for you. What they can't sell is your age,
it's my name.
your date of birth, what,
That
uh,
doesn't matter anymore. They're selling
like
my
your
eyeballs. They already
pop-
sold my
your-
eyeballs.
your
So what
party
they do is
affiliate-
they fill up a quarter of the screen with so that my eyeballs go there. So they didn't sell my age, but they sold my eyeballs
But
looking
exactly,
at things
but
that
they're
they
selling-
already knew I would be
so they're
interested
selling
in.
to your
So they're not selling my
demographic.
age. That doesn't matter anymore that they're selling my age.
But they're not
They're
selling
selling
that.
my
But
eyeballs.
they're using your personal information to get a broader demographic to advertise for your demographic. Maybe to you personally
Which
too.
is no better than using a specific information. Using demographic information is almost
But
akin to using specific
demographics
information.
is what you signed up
That's what I'm
for.
saying.
Specific information you didn't.
Yeah.
There is a difference. No, there's a difference.
There is a difference, but again, tables
It's
of
very
demographic
slight. No,
information
it might
can
be
look
slight.
a lot like individual information if the cells are very small.
Well, you should want to
But
talk
they
about
don't sell your name.
demographic.
You never have to apply the name. The name
But
doesn't even
Fraser,
matter to the client.
talking
No one
about
cares
demographic,
about
we're
names, honestly, or
No, they
ages,
don't.
as long as it's in a
But they do
demographic.
care about ages.
Who cares
So
what your
you're like,
name is, honestly?
maybe if Facebook is looking at males between 40 and 50 in America who are Republicans, and they're gonna advertise for them. The Democrat side, they're gonna advertise to them. Gun rights advocates, they'll advertise to those people. So that's the demographic that they're using. It's not anything specific to one person. This your specific information they can't sell. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like you like
I
coffee,
agree.
they can't. Maybe
We already
you
agreed
like
on
coffee.
that. I know. Yes, I know.
Okay, so
Yes,
you like
I know.
coffee.
They don't
They'll-
sell personal information.
You're
But
right.
that's not a good thing for me. That they sell aggregate information, that's the scary thing for me. I completely agree with you, Frank.
Okay.
They don't sell personal information. Yep, totally, 100%.
But they were caught selling personal information for the election, and that was the whole thing of why Facebook lost so
Okay,
much value.
and that should be I'm sure is a crime. So that's fine. But that
Oh,
they
yeah,
would use
yeah.
any other way would be like I'm saying, using any kind of demographic information, that is
That's
also
legal
can be
because every
very,
company
very scary to me.
But every
It's
company
very, very
has
scary to
done
me,
that for
and
the last
it's
30
very,
or
very
40 years.
manipulative of
It is.
populations that they know to
It
be
is.
manipulatable. So that's
Yeah.
almost as like
But
it's legal, but it's
you're right,
super
but
scary.
it
Being
might
legal
not
is
be
not
right.
being right.
Right, like in 1930s Germany, it was legal to kill Jews. Was it right? Absolutely not. But what's right and what's
But
legal
it was legal.
can be two completely different things. So companies have been using demographics for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, whatever, how long they've been
Yeah.
using it, in order to get specific content and products to people who would buy it. Because without that demographic that they can use, they could be selling the wrong thing to the wrong people and they would lose money. So they use that to their advantage.
No. Oh, you say 50 or 60 years. Whoa. You got to understand, today, it's at a whole nother level.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
again,
yeah.
demographics is not like demographics 60 years ago. It's not even the same thing. I'm talking
But
down to the
no, we're not going to get
to the
we're talking
postal
about technology
code.
now.
Once you go to postal code and age,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
at
right.
like
Then you're very
cells of
specific.
one individual. So again,
Yeah.
we're talking about demographic information with the ability to go down to the individual level on demographic information, strip bare of your name and all the details, but with a link directly to your Facebook account.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a whole
yeah.
another level.
Oh,
So when
I
you say
agree
demographic
totally.
information used as was,
Yeah, but 70
no,
years
used
ago.
as is super,
Yeah.
super scary. So what is legal, what the Republican Party did, honestly, how I understand
Democrat.
is
That's
wrong. No. The Democratic might have done illegal things and the same sort of things, but every party is doing things, including what
Oh,
I
I
said, like
know.
the Liberal Party in Canada,
I never
and
said. Oh,
the
they're all
and the
corrupt. Yeah.
Republican Party in the States, as was like seems to have been totally verified by all trusted sources that I see, did the same thing in terms of using the
I wouldn't doubt it.
demographic information for like manipulating people that are manipulatable. Not for
I
doing
wouldn't doubt it.
good,
No, I
but for
wouldn't.
manipulating people that are manipulatable. So everybody was doing it. What the outcome was, maybe it was a dead sum even. I'm willing to accept that, but I'm not willing to accept that one side was doing it and the other side wasn't. Doing
I
immoral
wouldn't. No, no.
things,
I
things that
wouldn't
weren't
say.
right.
No, it's a
Outside, we
degree.
agree. There's a red line of kind of legal. If one did and the other did, that's fine. But everyone was playing within the
Oh
legal
yeah, yeah, yeah.
guidelines,
I
but
agree.
outside of what I consider to be moral guidelines. Everybody, both
Fraser, want to
parties
go
in
back?
that
I
sense,
want to go back a little bit
and
to
all
demographics
parties,
now.
I'm
Oh
assuming,
God,
in Canada.
Fraser,
All
please,
parties. Yeah, yeah. So
please.
don't please don't try to say that the Republicans are
No, no, no. I would
innocent in
never
this
say that.
thing.
No,
But I
no, no.
don't like with this thing.
That's
No,
why I
no,
don't.
no. But
That's why.
degrees of guilt, I completely accept.
Oh,
Degrees of
I do
guilt,
too.
no
Yeah, yeah.
problem with that. Yeah, yeah,
Agree with
yeah.
that totally.
Absolutely.
That's why I don't identify
Yeah.
as a Republican. I identify as a conservative, but I have to legally identify as a Republican to vote as a conservative in my primaries. But anyway, I'm going to get back to demographics now for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Like 70 years ago,
Please.
they would let you fill out a paper survey in order to get your demographics. So that would you would willfully submit that to the company. Now today we're using
Hmm.
technology. When you sign up for
Hmm.
YouTube, Google, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, whatever you want to do, they're taking the demographic when you sign up and using that. So it's
Hmm.
not like you're doing it
Yeah.
willfully now. They're taking that information and using it. Whether that's legal or not, probably is, but where morally, maybe not so much. So we
Yeah,
want to talk
because it
about
is these, like
technology.
when I said the
Yeah,
Facebook contract, it is longer
yeah.
than my arm in terms of pages
And who
deep.
reads it?
Whoops.
And who reads it?
Who could? Who could? Who could
Yeah,
even
right.
understand it? I don't understand half of it. Like I say, look up the Cole's Notes versions because the whole thing is, and you're supposed to click it just, oh, I need to get on Facebook. Agreement. Click yes. Okay, I can go
Yeah.
through. Where
Oh,
that's
I got
ridiculous.
a
Whereas at the
story for
time,
you. I got it.
and no, but just even collection methods like how we would do the census, you would have to go door to door and ask
Yeah,
someone's permission to get their information. Whereas now you click and all of a sudden you give more information than you do to the Census Bureau,
right.
who we don't like, some of us in the
Oh, I don't
States.
care about
Not
that.
me. Sorry, I don't know why I said us. But some Americans don't like the census because, and some Canadians too, in that recently we went from a big debate between uh, obligatory, like mandatory, and voluntary census, part of it. Whereas the population says, don't force us to respond, and so make it voluntary rather than mandatory. In reality, it has been mandatory for a long time, and
Yeah.
no one has ever been prosecuted for not responding. And we get on average kind of 98% response rate, which means there's like hundreds of thousands of people not responding, and no one has ever been called back to say, hey, you're going to jail. So, but all to say that it's that kind of thing. Like we've always given it, but at a certain degree of voluntary. And that now
Well,
the
yeah.
statistical institutions are having problems with declining response rates in terms of like we're getting like 30% response rates at statistical, like the Census Bureau say, or Statistics Canada. Whereas someone wants to go on Angry Birds and they will give away more information in a
Oh,
split
that's what I want to tell you.
second. Personal stuff like location. Why would you need the location and my access to my camera
Yeah,
and access
exactly.
to
Yeah,
all my
yeah.
contracts to play Angry Birds, right? That's
Right.
silly,
I know,
right?
and I give.
But
Yeah.
but people are willing to do that. Whereas back
Oh,
in the
I
day,
do it.
it was more of a face to face. You know what you were agreeing to. The guy
Yeah.
knocked on your door and said, "Hey, can you give us information?" And you say, "Here's my rifle. What do you think?" And the guy would walk away, right? Whereas now, say, "I want to play Angry Birds. I have my rifle over here, but who are you going to point the rifle at, right?" I'm
Right.
just saying it's different. Times are
Fraser.
different, and how fast they get it. It's like right now they have our data, all that demographics, right now, and they say that they're not going to use it illegally,
There was a kid a
the
couple
personal
of
side,
years
but they
ago
say that.
who made an account somewhere online. He was the only person to read the agreement. The agreement
Mm,
stated anyone who signs up gets $100,000, $100,000 check. He actually contacted the company, and the company sued him, saying that it wasn't legally binding to give him the money. He got a lawyer, and he won. Because you read the agreement. The agreement said they got to pay him. You look, Google it. I'm sure it'll come up. It was a very funny thing. Did you freeze, Fraser?
I'm suddenly going to read right when we get
Did you
offline.
freeze?
Did I freeze? Did
I
I?
think. Did you hear
You
anything I
didn't.
said?
Hello? Hello?
I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
here.
totally. Can you hear me?
Okay. I hear you
I
fine.
hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So he did.
No, I heard what you said too. Whoops. I
So he
didn't.
sued and he won the
He got
money.
all the money.
He
And
got all
so
the
what
money.
I was saying was, oh, I'm going to read to the bottom of that Facebook contract now.
Yeah. Right. You fall asleep.
There might be money in it now. I've got to get to the
Yeah.
bottom.
Right. What if
You
it
win
says
50 cents. Fuck you, Mark!
Yeah. Imagine suing for 50 cents.
That's it.
Yeah. What if it says you can only eat green M&Ms for a year? You know, there's things like
Oh,
that.
gosh.
They put ridiculous things in some contracts that people will never read. They do that to actors and rock stars. They make them sign a
Heard it.
contract and they sign it without reading it. And before like a concert or they do a show, they put a bowl of M&Ms out. And in the contract it says you can't eat the green M&Ms, but they don't read it, so they eat the green M&Ms. So they know who read it and who didn't.
Oh, not that they would sue them or broke a contract. We don't have to pay you.
Yeah, right. Breach of
That's it.
contract.
No one would want to go there anymore. No, it's good. Anyways, I should probably get to sleeping too sometimes, but
All right, yeah.
no one wants to go there anymore. We got around to the concerts again. Like if they're going to talk about M&Ms, who would want to go to the concerts if they got these silly M&M clauses?
Well, that's only for the performers, not for the people.
Candy clause.
Candy
That's
club.
it. No,
Ho, ho.
that's it. But no, that we almost got through two. I don't know if we really covered that second one with
I don't think
justice,
we
but the
did.
deja vu all over again. I'm sure we're going to talk about that again somehow.
I'm sure. Why not? So wait, there's
But
no.
yeah, no, no one goes.
The next one
No
is
one goes there
baseball.
because it's too crowded.
Yeah, next one is baseball is 90% mental, and the other half is physical. That's the next one. I don't know what we can do with that,
I
but
like that.
we'll see.
We
Like
should, what is the? We could do a double header if you want. What's the following? What's
uh,
number
double
7?
a nickel ain't worth a dime anymore.
Okay, both are kind of mathy. I don't mind that. We could do those
Yeah,
two together maybe as a back to back, as a
yeah.
double. I don't know, back to back. I don't know. I'm trying to use baseball things there,
No, double
but
header's fine.
yeah.
Double header
Okay,
works. Yeah,
a double header. Okay.
that sounds like a
Well,
porn
it's gonna
term
be.
now. A double header.
Oh, I'm gonna have to put porn in the. I'm gonna have to put porn in the title again. We've said it twice now. We get a lot of views. We're gonna get a lot of views now. I found the
Yeah,
way to success, Frank. I found how to successfully do
yeah,
YouTube.
for 30 seconds though. 30
Yeah,
second view,
six.
it's not
It's
worth it.
seriously before we had an
6
average of
seconds.
2 minutes, average view of 2 minutes, which is I think it's pretty good,
That's
right?
decent, yeah.
Well, we have an average video length of 2 hours, but still, people stick around for at
Yeah,
least 2 minutes. The average in the last like 48 hours or whatever after that thing was 6 seconds,
6 seconds.
which is just
Oh
insulting, right?
boy.
I don't
Yeah,
want,
yeah.
I don't want that. I would rather have, 10 views at 2 minutes than 30 views at six
Yeah, me
seconds.
too. I
That's
guess, yeah. You know, podcasts usually
well,
don't
they
do
say
good on
10 views
Facebook
at
anyway. Podcasts don't do good on YouTube anyway. They're
YouTube.
been historically bad, so we're doing this basically for our own edification, not for anybody else.
I say that, but we've got over 100 views. I didn't say 10. We've actually got over 100, and only 30 of them were in that last kind of wave. But over the time, we've got 100 views, average of 2 minutes. So
Not too bad.
starting somewhere,
I'll
not
take
so
it.
bad. Well, we got, and
Oh,
I was
sorry.
saying about the people from Cyprus.
Yeah, that's
Cyprus. I
actually
said
I
Greece
thought
before. It's not, or no, I said
Cyprus. You
Syria
said
before.
Syria. Yes,
Not
but
Syria.
Cyprus is Greece. Yeah, Cyprus is Greece. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to insult Syria. It's Cyprus that's in the civil war right now, right? That's where ISIS is.
No,
It's in
Syria.
Greece.
No, Syria. Syria's civil
Isn't
war.
ISIS in Greece? I
No,
thought so.
Greece is in Europe, right next to
I'm
Italy.
joking. It was before
Oh,
I was messing up. No, I said Syria, but because I saw it was actually on the other channel, the backup channel. We only had like 3 views, and they were all from Cyprus. And then I
okay.
misread it, and I missaid it on the last episode. I said, "Oh, Syria," but I meant Cyprus, which is not as weird a place. Obviously, it would have been a whole lot weirder if it was Syria, but
Yeah,
still, it's
yeah,
kind of weird that it was Cyprus, right?
yeah. That's
And
really weird. I
still,
wouldn't. Yeah.
yeah,
I
and we
thought.
have like not a whole lot, but a lot of viewers outside of United States and Canada, even on this channel. Like Pakistan came up. I was like, one was Pakistan, but there was a list of about 5 countries who had searched, or 5 views out of our 100. So it was only 1% each, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was still like, wow, okay, they're finding it through Facebook or through Google. It's like this thing tells you how people found you and stuff.
Yeah.
You talking about demographics? I know what that Pakistani is doing. I know which one he watched.
We just
one guy.
We just
I'm telling you, I don't even buy that from YouTube.
Now you're using.
They give me that on their nerd stats thing, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's one of the things they do. And again, you're using demographics not for your own exploitation, but for your own information. But the demographics thing goes all the way through.
But, I should learn something in Pakistan or in like what is it, Pashto or anyways, I should learn some words because now we have a fan. And but maybe he speaks English. Someone, or at least a few people were using English subtitles. You can put English subtitles under us. I don't know if it understands either of us. I should do that to see what it says we say because it's trying to understand us as we're talking.
You couldn't read it, but you couldn't even read it. You could do French subtitles, Italian, Russian.
No, English. No, you can't put the other subtitles. All you can put is English subtitles. And it's trying to understand, a robot is trying to understand what we're saying and typing it madly below us. I watched it, I think, one time for another video, and it gets it wrong a lot. I'm going to do that for hours. That would be so funny. Just a little one. I want to see how it understands us.
You know, my accent fools a lot of computers, too. I have to over-enunciate on my phone when I talk to text. So, and I tend to talk a little fast too, being Italian from New York, we're always fast. So it gets a lot of my...
we know that. Demographically, we know that.
Yeah, right. So, I think my accent, and I mumble sometimes, so it might mix up my words too.
Yeah. They say that about Albertans. I remember when I came out here in the East, I eat a lot of syllables. I eat syllables. So I have to pronunciate all my syllables.
Yes.
I'm monosyllabic too. What is the monosyllabic one? I like that joke.
In monosyllabic,
Sorry.
In the South, they have they eat syllables too. Like they have the phrase "jeet." Did you get that?
What is that?
Jeet. Did you eat? Into one syllable. Jeet.
Did you eat? Jeet today? Jeet.
Jeet.
Jeet. I like it. I think we get along well. I think we get along well. Oh, I would like to be in the South. Oh, it'd be warm.
Oh, me too.
It's so cold here. Are you getting another snowstorm now?
Yes. It's still snowing.
Right now?
Yes.
Or like it's hitting you soon?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to show the world right now. If I can switch the cameras around. Okay, beautiful. I'm walking to my window. Oh, wait. Give me a second. I know it's dark. Just give me a second here. I got to remove my screen. Have everybody see. Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Wait a minute. The window's wet. That's why nobody can see anything now. But there it is.
So it's just like, oh, my gosh. Wow.
I don't want to lose my phone out the window, but yeah, there's my car.
Where? I don't see it.
Yeah, right. You can see a little bit of it. Yeah.
I see your side view mirror there. It's a nice looking side view mirror you got there.
And you can see by the pole. If you can see by the street lamp, it's still coming down.
Yeah. I can see it in your close up, but I can see snow piled up on the wires. That's when it's coming down hard, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's on the tree. Look at the trees.
Yeah, they're just white. That's the winter.
It's dark. Is
that guy gonna fall? I hope that guy doesn't fall.
I hope not. Yeah,
he's right in the middle of the street, though, right?
Yeah, I know.
Sidewalks, forget about it. Forget about it.
The sidewalk, no, it's not too. Oh, it's bad enough. And I have to shovel tomorrow because my brother's coming home Friday. It's gonna be 44 degrees.
Right.
But but look, I don't know if you see the van. Look how thick the snow is on the van.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's that one. Even the car behind it, it looks pretty dumb.
Yeah, and the car behind had an accident too. The hood's bent. But it's just.
Okay, I was like, wow, that's a lot of snow. Okay, it's all crumpled inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, this is ridiculous.
see.
It's the first day of spring. Come on, give me a break. Oh, they close the
Chappers,
window.
right?
Oh my goodness, this
Oh
is horrible.
gosh.
I'm gonna turn it around now.
Yeah. But
Okay,
your
so
brother's coming home, yeah.
yeah, he should be coming home
Yeah, he's
Friday. I
coming
hope some
home
of
on
this
Friday.
melts. Hope some of this melts.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Because you said he had to. He's not gonna have an easy time getting up those stairs, let alone across an icy field. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I got to
Jeez.
shovel. At least make a walkway or something. Oh my
Just a
goodness, I
path. Yeah,
can't
yeah.
take this anymore. It's supposed to be spring.
That's what they were saying. I don't know. I don't know.
The
Not so
nor'easter, yeah.
sure. Nor'easters.
Tired of it.
I think that's becoming a swear word. A nor'easter.
Yeah, right. This is
Nor'easter.
like we've had 4 nor'easters this month. 4.
That's it. Like we haven't had as much as you guys. You guys have
I
had
know,
more than us, and I said that today. I'm
right? That's
like,
strange.
they get another one? Wait, what? We didn't. Wait, whoa, 4 in a month.
4 nor'easters in a month. I can't. I can't. Huh. At least it's not too
Oh,
windy out. But the snow, you see, it's that thick, heavy, wet snow. That's why it's
yeah.
piling up on the trees and the cars like that. It's so hard to shovel. It's heavy.
Oh gosh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
And the bottom
tomorrow,
part is like already
yeah,
packed. It's like,
probably, yeah.
and it's just heavy as nuts. Yeah. Or it's
It's
like
gonna go to
just
44
heavy.
tomorrow. 44 went to Friday. Yeah. So I don't know how much of it's gonna melt.
Hopefully,
It's
maybe
not
it'll
gonna.
melt off. That's it. 44, maybe. What is that in
Yeah.
Celsius? Oh, that's like 5
That's about
degrees, 5 or 6 degrees Celsius.
something like that.
And only in the sun, right? Yeah. No, the shadow, it probably won't melt off. Yeah.
Well, my window that'll look out faces east, so the sun is gonna come up, and that's the first to melt. So hopefully it'll hit it pretty
Okay,
hard.
yeah, okay. Your car gets it then. Your car's on the right side of the
Yeah.
road then. The kind of the west side of the road, as it were. Okay.
Well, it's the window faces east, so the car's facing west, pointing in. So obviously the sun's gonna rise in the east, so it'll melt.
Yeah.
It'll melt some of the
As it
snow,
comes
but I don't.
across,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Then your car is blocking the driveway. No, a little bit.
Well,
Anyways,
no.
whatevs. All right.
I'm
But no,
taking
no,
one
it'll
half the
work out.
driveway.
It'll work out, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It'll melt quick. Next couple of days, it's gonna be in the 40s, upper 40s Fahrenheit. Hopefully it'll hit.
But you got
It's gonna
Friday.
hit
Friday
normal.
is the deadline, though, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Saturday's a little
Yeah.
bit too late to melt by. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I have
Well,
to go out. I have to go out Sunday to go to mass at least. I hope some of it's gonna be gone.
oh, I just meant for your brother getting home. Like, as soon as
Yeah,
that
no,
is.
I know.
Yeah.
He wants to come home so bad.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right. So I guess we'll sign
It'll be
off. We've been
soon.
going on long enough.
All right. Yeah.
All right. All right. I have no catchphrase, so this is Seek Truth, Finding Frank and Fraser, and we'll see you next time, guys. Good night. And
It's
God
like
bless.
all over again. We keep forgetting.
All right. How about Seeking Truth, Finding Frank Fraser, and a whole lot of snow? Eat it. All right.
Snow. Again and again and again.
And again and
Fuck.
again. 4
Deja vu all month long.
in 1 month. And
Ah, it's like,
what is it? What's today's date? The 22nd. I still got 8 days left.
oh
All right.
gosh.
All right. Good
Hopefully it's
night,
not
Frank.
5. It's
I'll talk
like,
to you.
sorry.
Yeah. Talk to you soon. Good night.